Since I read this, I've been dying to talk to you about it. Your thoughts?
I'm not surprised. I'm encouraged that the stories are starting to get out, because I think these stories have permeated throughout the Pentagon and the military for years. I think it's an important distinction and cleavage for the Democrats to take advantage of, because Milley is an honorable person. He's the kind of person your kids look up to. He's got integrity, and he's a true leader. And it's such a sharp contrast to the disgusting human being that is Donald Trump. I've struggled with how to communicate all this to my kids. And every day I look up and I say, well, don't be like that guy. Don't be like that guy. And I think the Democrats have to push that harder. And that's why I'm encouraged that this week they got tough and pushed the vote on Tuberville. We've been talking about it on this show. I think Schumer did the right thing. He pressed a vote. And he said, let's go on the record and see who wants to stand opposite a true American hero in C.Q. Brown. And Tommy Tuberville and 10 of his radical buddies voted no. And now they're on the record. And America can see that out in the open. They put politics first. They put patriotism second. And they continue to undermine our national security and our troops. And I think it's important in appealing to independence. I keep saying this, but 49% of the country is independent. They care about national security. They care about integrity. And if they don't like both options, they're going to go with the one that's not disgusting, that's not detestable, that has integrity, and will put country first.
100% of Americans, I think, believe that a wounded veteran deserves, at a bare minimum, our respect. And the vast majority of Americans, I think, believe they deserve for the rest of their life to be revered and thanked, right? They go and do things that the civilians haven't signed up to go do. And if they pay that ultimate sacrifice with an injury, they deserve a lot more than what Chairman Milley's telling to The Atlantic describes they got in the story of Luis Avila. We read it here yesterday. I mean, how do you... I don't want to minimize the treatment by politicians when someone in the military has given so much more on the battlefield. But how do you make sure that our politics don't re-traumatize people who've given the country everything and more?
Leaders have to take hard stands. And I think Milley has been muzzled. And he hasn't been able to speak out. So many folks in uniform haven't been able to speak out. And he's retiring, I think, on October 1st, because now we finally have a replacement name. I hope he speaks out strongly, ferociously, and other military leaders. Amy is starting to organize many of these folks who I think can really cut through the noise. And I think for Biden, it's an opportunity, again, to differentiate. For folks that don't like either of them or feel like they're both too old, Biden can say, look, my kid has been in combat. I understand what this is like. That's kind of like the best of Biden, when he can really be empathizer in chief and consoler in chief. And I think this cuts to a strength that they would be smart to elevate. I think the Democrats took too long to take on Tuberville. Elizabeth Warren was out in front first. And we want to see them punch back. Like, America wants to see people hold the line and uphold the integrity of this country. And every time you do that, the American people are going to stand with you. The ultimate test for America, for the military, for voters, is the commander-in-chief test. Do you trust this person to keep America safe, to make the right decisions in issues of war and peace? I think that's the most important issue that voters think about at the end of the day. And I think it's the thing that we can push on Trump. He is a danger to our national security. He undermines our military. He cozies up with Putin. And he's incredibly unstable. So you've got to ask yourself, are you really comfortable with him having his fingers back on the nukes again? And I think if you listen to folks in the military, they're telling you no. We had a commander-in-chief forum on this network back in 2016, and we asked the country to compare Trump and Clinton. We pushed that issue forward. Veterans pushed that issue forward. I think that's the issue that has to continue to be put forward now. Can you trust this man being in the White House, controlling our nukes, controlling our military? And the answer is no. Everybody in the know says no. The question now is, can Democrats especially go on the attack, push that message, and put that question before the American people? And they've struggled to do that. I think now they're making headway. This is the right path, and pushing Tuberville is the right way to get there, but they got to do it even harder.
Corker, Tillerson, Milley, Kelly, Gates, H.R. McMaster, Esper. There are no outliers except Mike Flynn. So, right?
Yeah, and I think you have to talk about, how do we stop Trump? Right? And you stop Trump by moving independents in key swing states. And how do you move independents? It's not with Elizabeth Warren. It's not going to be with Chuck Schumer. It's going to be with General Kelly, General McMaster, General Mattis, General Milley, and Mike Pence. Yeah. Right? It can come from inside, too. If Pence starts to really talk, he can damage Trump probably more than anyone. So that's who I'm looking to, and I'm looking in the camera saying, do it for America. Speak out. We need you now.
It's do it for Luis Avila. I mean, it's sick stuff that's coming out, really sick. Paul and Amy, thank you very much for spending time with us on this. I wanted to talk to you about it for 2 days.